Today we're going to go over barbell curls. It's one of my favorite exercises, one that I see done wrong a lot, so hopefully this will help. Basically you want to hold the bar about shoulder width. You can adjust grip if you want to when you're doing these. The wider you hold, the more of the outer head of the bicep you're going to work, and then the closer you hold, you're going to work more of the inner head. But just for a basic lift, I like to hold it shoulder width apart. The other thing you want to focus on is technique and contraction. I tell my clients all the time, weight's not nearly as important as form and technique. So with barbell curls, what I like to do is when I'm pulling up, I kind of leave my wrist a little bit relaxed. And you'll see as I come up, they're going to kind of stay bent down just slightly. When I come up right into here, what happens is the bicep is going to stay contracted. You'll see a lot of guys come up and roll, and what happens when you roll the wrist at the top is you're going to lose contraction. So when you come all the way down, come up, wrists stay in place, squeeze to push the blood in there, and back down. The next lift we're going to do is traditional deadlifts. This is probably my favorite lift by far. It works basically your whole body. I typically do it on back day because it is a heavy lift. I don't like to do it on leg day when I do squats. It will work your legs, but it's going to really work your back too. It's really good for putting on size, mass, thickness in the back. And so, but it is a dangerous lift if you don't know what you're doing. So I'm just going to kind of go through the technique. There's two different ways you can do a deadlift. The first is kind of the traditional way where I like to stand a little bit more narrow than shoulder width. That way, when I come down to the bar, I can get my hands on the outsides of my knees. So when I come up, they're not in the way. So I'm going to show you that way first, and then what's called a sumo deadlift. That's also another possibility. So what I like to do is, when I get down, I like to have the bar just about right here over my toe. To where it's kind of almost up on your shins. You're going to grab the bar. You can reverse grip the heavier you go so that the bar doesn't try and roll on you. Back as upright as possible. I like to keep my head up so that I don't risk pulling up like this and getting into the lower back. And you're just going to stand straight up, almost like a squat. Here. Back down, same position. Up, back down, back up, and down. The other way that you can pull, and I have a lot of my taller clients do this, is what's called a sumo deadlift. It's basically going to work the same thing. You're going to stand much wider, toes out, almost at a 45-degree angle. And this way you're going to hold the bar in between your legs. A little bit more narrow, like you had my feet in the first lift. Same thing. Keep your torso and back as upright as possible. Head up. Pull. And that's a deadlift.